Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Well, to quote some lyrics from a very well-known Christmas song, the weather outside is frightful. We've been hit by Storm Alex. Storm Alex was named by the French Metro Office, and it's basically dumped a month worth of rain in the UK in 2 days. We have got strong winds, we've got rain, constant rain, non-stop. I thought I would assemble the 750mm Hobby King Hawker Hurricane. This one I decided to do a little differently. I've put what I'm calling, or what has been named, as popper dots. What I've done, I've been online, I've got a load of photos from the internet of Hawker Hurricanes. So let me quickly show you what I've done before we assemble it. So you can see the tail end, I've done very little because it's basically wood with canvas covering. But the front end isn't, and the front end has several panels that lift up or can be taken out. They're not rivets, they're actual turn screws. If we look at the wing, so what I've done is I've followed all the panel lines that were on there and then extended some. So as an example, the panel lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are my own panel lines based on the pictures that I've seen on the internet. So I've done that for the whole main wing. I've also done the underside. The underside stands out a lot more. And that took a couple of hours. But it's nice therapeutic time, listening to music. I thoroughly recommend it if anyone's stressed out. Get an aircraft that you're going to assemble and put some popper dots on it. But do it before you assemble it, because once you've assembled, it's a bit awkward some of the places you've got to get your dots in. I haven't put any dots on the tanks. They look welded. They look as though they're welded together. The first thing you got to do is put her drop tanks on and her undercarriage on. So the drop tank is secured with some double-sided sticky tape. And that is basically this tiny strip here. What I'll do is I'll put my own double-sided, I'll take this cover off of course so it's sticky, then I'll stick my own double-sided sticky tape over the whole area, trim it out, and then you just basically pop it into the slots, and they're quite deep slots. You then peel the sticky tape off and drop it into this slot. Now where the servo cable runs across the slot, the actual tank has a little slit cut out in it. Here is the little slit for that wire to go onto, so you know which way they face. I'm not sure I like the fact that the tanks are camouflaged, particularly as the whole underside of the wing has no camouflage on it whatsoever. But they are, and I can't help that because I don't have the paint to paint it. Well, that took me a little longer than I'd planned, but I think it was well worth it, because while I was putting this double-sided tape onto the supports, I found a can of paint primer. So I sprayed the tanks with the primer, a nice grey primer. I've also added this silver banding around them. And you can't put them in the wrong way because they have this little cutout here, and the little cutout goes to the wing where the servo cable is. So I'll move that out of the way. We'll do this one first, then we'll do the other one. Now while I'm doing these, little story, I was doing some research on the internet about these tanks, and I found out that during D-Day they were used to ferry beer called Joy Juice over to the troops. Now I haven't found a picture of a Hurricane doing it, but I have got a picture, colourised picture of a Spitfire, and this is what they were doing, which I think is absolutely amazing. They also put actual kegs, barrel kegs, under the Spitfires, and then they put a false nose cone over the barrel to make it more aerodynamic. But these are 44-gallon tanks, so that's 88 gallons of beer per flight. Now this literally gets pushed all the way into the wing until it can't go any further, and that's it. Now, personally, I think that's much better than having some camouflage stuff stuck underneath. The next thing to do is to do the wheels. These wheels have a little circlip on them, and what I do with those, I use a little bit of foam tack just to dab on the end. It's just got a blob of foam tack on the end. Be careful not to get it onto the wheel, as is that one. That'll make sure that doesn't suddenly spring off. Now the wheels go facing inwards, and this piece goes to the back, so this wheel goes in here, and that just slots in there. Very easy fit. And that undercarriage is now in place. That's it, all there is to it. Let's do the other one. Bring that over here. Push it in. That's it, make sure the bed's in. And there we are. And that's our undercarriage and drop tanks all set up. Not too shabby at all. I have noticed this piece here, which is some sort of fake air intake, and that's going to be exposed on the underside when the wings go on, so I'm going to go and paint that black. There we are, that's better. Just let that dry, and then we'll put the cannons on. The longer gun goes in the hole that's recessed further back on the wing, and the shorter gun on the hole that's further forward on the wing. The end result being is that the end of the barrels are in line with each other. So they just need gluing in, and I'm going to do that with a little bit of foam tack. So let me get that done and then we'll come back. So the guns are now glued on, the drop tanks are stuck in, painted grey, and the wheels are on, and I've put foam tack on the ends to stop the C-clip fall off. We now connect the main wing to the fuselage. But you know what, before I do that, I'm going to stick the tail feathers on first. There's no gluing involved. All we do is put everything together, slot it down, and there are two holes here where you put screws that lock everything in place. So we take the horizontal stabiliser and the vertical stabiliser and join them together. Then this whole lot plug into the tail, like so. That's it. Then I put two screws in, this hole and this hole. Okay, so this needs squeezing together at the same time, so the holes are lined up. Not an easy thing to do, I might add. So that's one. There's the second. And then let's screw these down. There we go. I don't know if the servos are centered, so I'm not going to connect things up at the moment. So next job is putting the wings on. So let's do that. That's it. There we have one Hawker Hurricane.